Welcome to the middle of the African bush. We're sitting live next to a female leopard. Her two cubs are hiding in the bush close to us, but we're definitely going to be spending our afternoon with the incredible female leopard, Karula. This is Safari. And on cue, young Hosana has made an appearance. He's just come out of the bush right next to us to come greet his mother. And actually it looks like he's more interested in the impala that she has stashed in the bush behind him. Now, of course, this is our favorite leopard here on Nkuhuma, and probably the female leopard that most of our viewers have spent the most time with, Queen Karula, the peaceful one, the incredible mother, the silent assassin, the huntress. At the moment, the dozer, fast asleep. Now, I wonder if young Hosana starting to feed is going to bring out his sister, little Xongile. Okay, we're just going to reposition so we can maybe get a better view of him feeding. Remember, this is 100% live. These leopards, you are seeing them at the same time as we. And if you want to ask us any questions, hashtag or questions at WildEarth.tv. How's that for you, Xander? You got a window there into the impala's rib cage. Just have a look before I switch off. Oh no, there we go. Maybe a little bit further back. Get that hoof out of the way. So it looks like they might have eaten quite a bit of it. Hopefully they've eaten enough that Karula might be able to hoist this carcass shortly. When I say hoist, I mean carry up a tree to protect it from other predators. The Nkuhumas are still on Nkuhuma, hyenas are around, and the possibility that even another male leopard like Tingana might expropriate the carcass from them. Now, Xander, if you look behind you, there's another animal here. And it could get quite interesting if the elephants keep feeding in this direction. They might chase the leopards. The leopards are far too quick for the elephants to get hold of in normal circumstances. There we go. Oh, and there was a bird. Didn't see it landed. Are we definitely in the right spot today? Now, little Xongile, the female cub, has just popped her head up, Xander. There she is. You see her through there? Oh, she's popping her head down again. She's got a nice shady spot next to us there. Oh, she's going to go play stalk the elephant for fun. Who knows? Young leopards do strange things. Let's see if she pops up around the corner. Otherwise she might find a spot in the shade to snooze there. Of course, all these leopards are quite well fed at the moment. Can you see her there? Oh, she might have gone for a snooze. I'll keep my eye on that part of the world. And Queen Karula is up and listening to the elephants. Now, Karula is probably one of the most successful female leopards when it comes to raising cubs that I've ever encountered in my years in the bush. Tracy in the UK is wondering exactly how successful Queen Karula is. Well, Tracy, I think I'm going to need a bit of help from our long-time viewers for that one. And to how many cubs has Karula had? Now, that I know of, she's lost one, but that she could have always lost a cub without us finding it. You never know. And let me just try and remember. First litter, Shadow and Thandi. And then there's two. Oh, I think Shavambalan, Shavinzi. I don't know where they fit in, but that's 4. Quarantine, Nkuhuma, Hosana, Xongile. We're on 8. Now I know Shavambalan, I think, had a sister. So that's 10 that I know of. But I could be incorrect. Plus 11 with one that she lost to hyenas. But I'm sure some of our long-time viewers are going to help me out now and let me know. Well, very interesting update I got. I just got to be on the game drive radio for a second. Afternoon, Andrew. Yeah, we're out one station with Karula and Mambimba. Make your way, Andrew. You can see little. There's Karula panting away. It's quite warm, 27 degrees Celsius, 80 Fahrenheit. Sorry, the radio is just very busy. Everyone's... there we go. Laura says, I've forgotten Mishu and Nduna. So that puts us at 13 cubs that we know about. I think that's about it. And Karula is 11 turning 12 this year, if I remember correctly. So that's not a bad run. The majority of those were raised to adulthood. Now, of Karula's offspring that we still see, of course, Shadow and Thandi, Quarantine, and Shavambalan. So we see 4 out of those 13. And I can't remember what Shavambalan's sister's name was. Could it have been Shavinzi? Shavinzi, yes, there we go. So let's start again there. So we've got Shadow and Thandi. We've got we've got Shavambalan, Shavinzi. Misha and Nduna was second, then Shavambalan, Shavinzi. Then Quarantine, no, am I missing someone here? Then Quarantine, Nkuhuma. Then a cub that died. And now these 2 little gems, Hosana and Xongile. No, I've forgotten 2 somewhere. I think I've forgotten 2 somewhere. Okay, let's start again. Shadow Thandi, Mishu and Nduna, Shavambalan, Shavinzi. It must be our Quarantine, Nkuhuma, a cub that died. So it's 11 cubs. Now, as far as I know, almost all of those cubs have made it to adulthood, which is incredible. When your average leopard female in the Sabi Sands has a 70% success rate at rearing cubs to a year old. And the other predator density around here is immense. I mean, we've got all those lions, the Nkuhumans, the Birminghams, lots of hyenas, lots of other leopards as well. Now, talking about cubs making it to adulthood, There's a lot of threats that face them, and as I said, the biggest threat is, of course, nomadic male leopards. And they, out of the recorded mortalities, they make up about 70% of cub deaths under a year. Now, I've seen some quite strange things eat leopard cubs over the years, and why don't you guys see if you can guess some of the stranger mortality reasons for leopard cubs, and we'll keep it to the Sabi Sands, so only ones I've experienced here and nowhere else. And you can send me what you think some of those stranger ones might be to questions@wildearth.tv, or use the hashtag #SafariLive on Twitter. Now, Julia in Houston is wondering, do I think Karula is so successful because she hunts a lot during the day? Julia, that could definitely play a part. Obviously, there's a lot less competition from other predators during the day. I just think she could be a very good mother. Now, if we look at her and her daughter, Shadow, who in comparison to Karula is an absolutely horrible mother, and she has only raised one cub to adulthood, and that was almost not to adulthood, and that of course is young Xongile. So it's very interesting. I mean, theoretically, if she was brought up by Karula, who's one of the best mothers we know, and Shadow is probably one of the worst mothers that we know. I mean, let me just think about the other female leopards. I know another very good mother in this part of the world is, what's her name? I've seen her to the west. Oh, it'll come to me now. I can picture her. Salahesh. Not quite sure how many cubs she's raised to adulthood, but she is known as a particularly good mother. And Thandi is raised, I know, of a female cub to adulthood, and another male cub called Bahuti. I'm not sure if any others. And Kanyen, I'm not sure if she's raised any to adulthood yet. I actually think she probably has, I just don't know about them. And a female leopard who died, Quatile. I know she's raised at least 2 to adulthood. Mind Warp, well done. One of the stranger cub mortalities I know about in the Sabi Sands is indeed the African rock python. Now, they killed the cubs of a very famous leopard in the south. Oh, look at him. Of the Sabi Sands. When they were very young, they were a couple of, well, less than 2 weeks old. Karula's heads up. The ellies might move through here. They are getting a bit closer. We can just see the trees moving behind us. But yes, African rock python ate the 3-4 females cubs at a place called Python Rock on the border of Dudley and Londolozi. We can hear those elephants feeding behind us. Karula just keeping a watchful eye. They don't really pose any threat to them as much as more of an irritation, and chase them around. we can hear a red-chested cuckoo in the background as well. There's an elephant who's come up into the open behind us there. Let's see if they move. I'm going to keep an eye on them, see if they move this way. So SP Nathan is wondering, do elephants attack leopards? They'll chase them like they will chase lions or wild dogs or hyenas. They're not fond of predators, even though the predators might not actually pose a real threat to them. So yes, they do attack leopards. Now I'm sure Karula's hoping that the elephants don't move. Oh, look at him, he's getting really stuck in there. He's trying to be strong and pull the carcass. You see, I think if I go slightly forward, it might be a slightly better view for you there, Ed. Good. You can go a little bit more if you want. One little branch in the way there, so let's try that. Hi Rain, who's 16 years old. Rain says, Mr. Sunrise Drive, is this another kill? Those of you who missed yesterday's sunset safari, we were lucky enough to see Karula take down a duiker live. And then she went off to fetch the cubs. And on her way back, she killed an adult male impala. Aren't you a clever girl, Karula? So yes, Rain, it is indeed another kill. The duiker kill is probably about 400 meters to the north of us. So if hyenas happen to steal this one or it gets finished, she's probably just going to move on to the next one. If we have a look at the carcass there now, you can actually see, there we go, it's a big impala. That's probably why she hasn't hoisted it. You can see the male's horns. It's an adult male impala.
Brent. Okay, hello and good afternoon and welcome to the Sunset Safari. We're not quite sure where Brent disappeared off to, and poor Viam doesn't have any communication at all. As you can see, we are now back on Jigga. Wendy officially gave up the ghost and barely got back to her parking lot this morning. But we're back on Jigga, hopefully with everything sorted out, and Viam's been working frantically trying to sort it all and get it all ready before afternoon drive. I think we've done quite well, considering. I say we, like I contributed in a major meaningful way. I moved the camera. But that's about it. So good afternoon, my name is Jamie. This afternoon I have Viam on camera with me, and it is wonderful to be heading out and about. Right, what shall we do? I haven't even got that far yet. Brent's loss of signal took me somewhat by surprise. Let's go and have a look at the elephants that I saw come trundling past earlier. I'm sure they're on their way to the Djuma Dam Pan. and see what we can see. This morning on the Sunset Safari, we were treated to an amazing view of a Quarantine, the male leopard. You got those beeps? Nothing. Oh dear. Poor Viam is without comms. Shuffling things around. Oh well, let's see how we go. We might have to double back and go back and get Viam a handheld. This morning we were treated to a lovely view of Quarantine, the male leopard, and his massive kudu kill. What I understand, having this being only the second time that I've seen him, Quarantine has become something of a specialist in catching kudu. This was a young male with at least a full twist to its horn, so that's a big animal, and there's lots and lots of meat on the carcass still. So we might go and head across in that direction. It just depends how things are going. I've decided after yesterday afternoon Sunset Safari not to plan too far ahead. In the meantime, I think we'll go and check Gowrie Cutline for those lions. That seems to be where they live. Unless they've got a kill somewhere here. The guys spent the morning scouring Djuma, didn't have any luck, which makes me think we might as well go and check Gowrie Cutline, which is basically where they live at the moment. Oh dear, the ellies have gone the other side of the Djuma Dam. Now, there are guests at Vuetela Lodge, which is a wonderful place to come and stay. And what that means is that in the afternoons, if we are out before the guests are out, we don't drive across the dam wall, because I think it'd be a little bit unpleasant to kind of ruin your view if you've got this beautiful view of a dam and you're sitting out having your drinks and all of a sudden there's a vehicle with a camera trundling past, especially if they don't know us or are unfamiliar with us. Aha! I see you. I knew I heard you. Now, to find it. It's cuckoo. Oh no. Wait, where's it gonna go? Where's it gonna go? Can we get it on camera? Will it be the thick-billed cuckoo? Will Brent be the winner of the argument that we had last night? Oh, it's so far gone. I don't think it is a thick-billed cuckoo. Brent and I had a serious disagreement because we've been hearing cuckoos again. Let's keep watching it over there. Oh, I've lost it. Now, Brent and I, let's just scuttle past here quickly. Brent and myself had quite a serious argument since we've started to see the return of the migratory cuckoos, which has been wonderful, but Brent and I are seriously disagreeing over whether we're hearing a classes cuckoo or a thick-billed cuckoo in our garden. I say classes, Brent says thick-billed, and until we find it, neither of us is going to be proven right. Of course, we could both be listening to two different birds, but we shall have to see how we go. Okie dokie. Now we've just got to decide which way we go. Now, for those of you who are wondering, we are experiencing some signal issues. Both masts have very, very low signal. We don't quite know why or what's going on. And at the moment we are, let's just say the bones of the skeleton crew are rattling every now and again. It's just, I can actually list us on the fingers. Myself, Brent, Viam, Zander, Kirsty, Jerry. Who's the final person? Who am I forgetting? Jandre, but he's not back yet. He's in town. So essentially we have 6 people on the ground and Jandre in town. So we're very much on skeleton crew at the moment, which means that the issues that we do have, we are working on. We're trying to fix them within our abilities. But we thank you all for your patience. As you know, bringing you a live safari from the middle of the African bush sometimes comes with a certain degree of difficulty. Very much appreciated that you've all been so understanding and tolerant. Yesterday the wheels came off completely, but that was okay because we managed to get them back on. And a very warm welcome to the students at Rowan Primary School, Miss Parcell's class. It's lovely to have you on board. Actually, let me stop for a moment and we'll just do a proper introduction as to how this all works. It's all very exciting, and I hope that you are all excited to go out on a live safari from the middle of the African bush. My name is Jamie, and behind me sits a cameraman who's very shy. His name is VM, and that's probably all you'll ever see of VM. And somehow there's some magic technology. VM sits on the back with a camera. He brings you the amazing images that you see out here in the African bush. Gets broadcast up through an antenna, and it goes to a satellite, and everything happens. I don't know, it's magic as far as I'm concerned. Some fantastic technology, and it brings you a live safari from the middle of the African bush. Now, we are here in a country called South Africa, and as its name suggests, we're right in the southern point of the African continent, and in the top northeastern corner, so on the boundary of three amazing countries, South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe. And this amazing area that we're in, this wilderness area with lions, leopards, elephants, and all sorts of incredible things, this is bigger than the country of Wales. So it's bigger than Wales. It's absolutely massive, 4 million hectares to be precise, and spreading across 3 different countries. And our little portion of this magical paradise is called Djuma. Oh, we can find you all kinds of exciting things on your safari. Let's go. Hands up, what would you like to see on your African safari? Would you like to see a lion? Maybe you'd like to see a leopard? We can't promise anything because these animals are wild, but we will do our utmost to try and find you exciting things. Speaking of exciting things, it's not just me driving out here. There's also a gentleman called Brent, and he has something very, very exciting to show you.
Welcome from Surrey all the way to the African bush, and I'm sitting next to a female leopard who's got 2 cubs, and she's killed an adult male impala overnight, and the little cubs are feeding. My name is Brent, and I have Xongile on camera with me, and isn't this incredible? You are able to join me live in the African bush with these incredible leopards. There's the mom. Mom's lying there. She's eaten quite a bit of this impala. And yeah, the little male is feeding the male cub. The female cub, there she is. She's actually stalking some elephants, which are just behind us. She's being naughty. So there she is over there. Left a bit. Base of the big tree. There we go. Yeah, that's the little female cub. Her name is Xongile, which means exquisitely beautiful. And that she is. And even at this young age, the female cub is going to be showing more independence than the male. She'll probably leave her mother at a younger age than the male and set up her own territory. Oh, whoa, Amelie. Now, that's a difficult question. How many spots does a leopard normally have? Well, Amelie, let's have a look. Why don't you try count them? I'm only joking, of course. I don't know, Amelie, to be honest. And I've never counted the individual spots on a leopard. Now, how we identify leopards quite often, especially with leopards we don't know too well, if we just, till one looks at us. So let's look at the little boy, because he's facing us. He's actually going to walk towards us. The looks of things, smelling around. Now, if we have a look, you can see his wonderful long whiskers there. And just above his whiskers, there's a line of spots. You can see them quite distinctly there. And he is a 3-3. So each individual leopard has its own unique spot pattern, just like that, like a fingerprint in humans. And that's how we and scientists generally differ leopards apart, from that line of spots just above the last line of whiskers. Now you can see 3 individual spots and 3 individual spots, and that is Hosana, and that is the little cub, and it means the little. And his sister is a 4-3.
Oh, dearie me, it seems as though Brent has disappeared off your screens, but that's okay. I've got a lovely surprise for you. But you just have to wait a few moments so that I can give you a chance to see the surprise. It's quite a big surprise. In fact, it's a very big surprise. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to show you what we've got. Oh, they're in a hurry today. Look at what we've got coming through. One of my absolute favorite animals. You've already seen a leopard, and now you've got a herd of elephants as well. How lucky are you? Our elephants are very, very special creatures. And it's important to remember that we are in their home and not the other way around, so we always treat them with the utmost respect, as we do with all of these animals. They are wild, and they can be dangerous, but for the most part, they are incredibly peaceful and very, very intelligent animals. An elephant has almost human-like emotions. Their brains are 3 times the size of a human, and scientists have done some research and found that they've got very special nerve pathways in their brain that basically mean that are basically devoted to social development. So elephants love each other. They all live together in a herd, and a herd is like a family of females who are related to each other, sisters, cousins, nieces, nephews, and all the little babies are gathered together. Oh wow, apparently you guys all adopted an elephant called Karula. That's amazing. I'm sure Karula is a wonderful elephant. I'm not sure where Karula lives, but would you like to go and have a closer look at these elephants, since we definitely don't have any Karulas here? But perhaps we can go and find some special individuals, and I see some baby elephants there as well, and I'm sure you'd all like to have a look at them. So let's go round. And we're going to have to go all the way around to get to them. And we're going to have to go past the lodge, because what's amazing about this is that these elephants are so comfortable with people. They've grown up with people around them. And as long as we don't do silly things, take chances, or make them feel uncomfortable, they're quite happy to come right up to us. Actually, you know what? I'm sure we can just skip in here. Sneak around. Everybody watch your heads. I'm going off the beaten track now, off the road. Taking my trusty vehicle. Which one's this now? Jigger. This vehicle's called Jigger. Hello, elephants. And Dahlia, looking at these elephants and seeing all the little babies that are slowly coming towards us, Dahlia wanted to know, when is their breeding season? Well, Dahlia, elephants are amazing in that they don't have a breeding season. Oh, listen, they're talking to each other. Hello, girls. We're actually going to have to move. These elephants are a little bit unsettled, and I don't want them to feel insecure, because there is a lodge fence here, and I don't want them to feel trapped. But they are making their way towards us, so we're going to go backwards a little bit. Dahlia, elephants don't have a strict breeding season. Oh, what are you two doing? No. I think let's go back a little bit now, so that we don't make them feel trapped or afraid. As I said, it's important to remember that we're in their home and not the other way around. So we're going to give them plenty of space. There we go. That should be okay for now. What you will find, Dahlia, is that an elephant, they usually give birth around summer, because that's when we get our rain, so that's when there's lots of food around for the elephants to eat. Now, can any of you tell me how long you think an elephant might be pregnant for? Our human being is pregnant for 9 months before the moms give birth. How long do you think an elephant would be pregnant for? It's got to be a long time, doesn't it? Because, of course, it's a very, very big baby that they're busy making. Hello, big girls. And Layla, funny you should ask me this, because I actually only found out the answer, hello, big girls, a little while ago. Layla, very good question. You want to know how fast is an elephant's heart rate? The answer to that is around about 30 beats per minute when it's standing up, so much, much slower than the average human being. Only a super fit sportsman would have a heart rate of about 30. What's happening, girls? Hello. Hello. It's okay. Oh, goodness. You guys are very, very clever. Already got the gestation period. You already know the gestation period. You are absolutely right. 22 months. That's nearly 2 years that a female elephant is pregnant. Isn't that amazing? And their heart beats at 30 beats per minute when they're standing up. When they lie down, it goes even faster. Kind of like my heart right now, because we've got the elephants right up close to us. I know, beautiful. Hi, girls. I often talk to elephants, and it's not because I think the elephants can understand the words I'm saying. It's because I want to communicate to them in the only way that I can, that I don't mean them any harm. Look at her using her trunk to grab the branches and pop them into her mouth. This big female would be one of the protectors of the herd, so she would be, if not the matriarch, because she's one of the oldest and the wisest elephants, she will be very, very invested in protecting the herd. And an elephant herd is led by the oldest female, unless she gets too old to be able to do it. But for the most part, it's led by the oldest female, who has the most experience. She can live up to 60, even older, 60 years old. That's nearly as old as a human being. And because they've got such amazing brains, she'll know all kinds of things. Where to go and find water, where the best point is to go and find food, how to look after her babies. Very good question from Emma. Emma, you want to know how you know which elephant is the matriarch. It's difficult unless you spend lots and lots of time with the herd. So we've got lots of elephants around here, and we see different ones all together. You can usually tell by the behavior of the elephant. Sometimes the matriarch leads the herd, and sometimes what she actually does is she gives that job to one of her deputies, to one of the other females, and she will walk right at the back. But if you spend enough time with one elephant herd, you'll notice that one female is always the one that seems to communicate to the others that it's time to move. She's the one that tells them where to go. And if the herd is threatened in any way, if there's a predator or something they find scary, then she will be the one to race. Oh, to you too. She will be the one to race across and rescue the little ones and put herself between whatever's dangerous and the rest of the herd. Isn't that incredible? It's one of the reasons why I think elephants are my favorite animal. Oh, look at the baby in the front. Oh no, little one. Little baby wants to get across. Isn't that incredible? Oh, this tiny baby is just learning how to use its trunk and to use its ears. Sarah, you want to know how big an elephant's ears are. Well, Sarah, if you know how big, and if you take your A4 notebooks, your standard school books, and you put 4 of them next to each other, that's about as big as an ear would be. So your school books would be a good way of using an example on an adult elephant. Of course, some of them are smaller, like this little one that's coming up to say hello. Hello. And what have you got to say for yourself? You've got some leaves on your head, little one. Lucy, you want to know if elephants get earwax. I don't know, but yes, I assume that they do, because of course earwax is an important thing in that it helps to collect any dirt or anything that might damage the canal of the ear. So an earwax would probably be a very, very good thing for an elephant to produce, especially because it can be really dusty and dirty out here. Okay, we're going to have to sit very tight at the moment. We're surrounded by elephants. Hello, guys. Luckily, they're not showing us any sign that they're cross. They're just wandering through. Hi, big girls. Here comes the little baby. Oh, it's running. It's running. Running to catch up with Mum. Hello, ladies. Now, Caitlin, while I keep a very close eye on the one big female that I think could be the matriarch, Caitlin, you were saying, do elephants have good hearing? Hello, my girl. Nice and slow. Hi. Hi. Promise I'm not going to do anything. No. Oh, you just want that tree after all that. Yes, elephants have very, very good hearing. So even though I'm whispering quietly, because I've got the whole herd so close to me, they are listening to every word that I say. Their hearing is better than their eyesight. So they actually, oh, naughty elephant, pushing in front of one of the older females. She just gave him a headbutt there to teach him a little bit of respect, to have respect for the older elephants. So elephant's sense of smell is amazing. Do you know how lucky we are to be surrounded by these amazing creatures? So close to us. And the reason they've come so close to us is because we let them choose to come to us. Now, Elsa, you want to know what would be an elephant's favorite food? What do they like to eat more than anything else? And it actually depends on the time of year as to what they eat. So when it's really in the middle of summer, when there's been lots of rain and there's lots of grass, grass is one of their favorite foods because it's nice and soft and they don't have to chew for too long. But in winter, we don't have any grass around, and so they have to eat the trees as well. But one of an elephant's, here's a secret about an elephant, they have really a very strong sweet tooth. They love sweet things. And out here, because they don't have any sugar, that would be something like a marula fruit or any other kind of fruit that they can get their trunks on. In particular, that marula fruit is one of their favorites. Hi, girls. Hello, big girls. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. It's okay, don't be scared. Mommy's here. Yes. Are we very interesting? Now, don't cause nonsense, little one. Otherwise, your mommy's going to come and shout at me, and I'll be in trouble. I love baby elephants. They are just the best. They're so curious and constantly busy, especially the babies still learning to use their trunks. We absolutely have to just sit still for the moment and let the elephants move past us. Little one, you're trapping yourself in that tree. You're going to get stuck there. Oh, you've got an itchy ear. Look at it using this tree to scratch its ear. Learning to use its trunk, just like one day you had to learn to use your hands to write and to hold things when you were little. Baby elephants have to do exactly the same thing. While I sit patiently. Hello, big girl. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay, big girl. It's okay. It's all right. See how big they truly are? Okay, while we sit patiently and let the elephants move away from us, let's go back across to Brent, who's got some baby leopards.
Welcome back. Sorry guys about the signal breakup. We are live from the African bush, so sometimes we do have a few little hiccups. But there we go. You can see this is the young male cub. He's finished feeding and he's busy giving himself a bath. Isn't he just too beautiful? So I think as we disappeared, someone asked how old these cubs are. They were born on the 2nd of February 2016. I was lucky enough to see them when they were a few hours old for the first time. So what is that? February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. They're 8 months old now. Oh, he's tired now. He's got a full belly. So he's going to have a snooze. Now, leopards more often sleep for up to 18 hours a day, and just depending, and especially when they've got a kill close by, lots of meat. Now, I'm hoping their mom puts the kill in the tree. It's a bit heavy for her when she first caught it. It's an adult male impala. She weighs probably around 45 kilograms, 90 pounds or so, and that impala probably weighs 130 pounds. Hi, Lucy. Lucy would like to know, when was the first time I saw a leopard? Well, Lucy, I'm very lucky. I've lived in the bush my whole life, and I probably saw, the first time I saw a leopard, I probably can't even remember. I was probably a baby. But the first time I can actually remember seeing a leopard, I was probably about 4 or 5 years old. And the first time I saw a leopard by myself walking in the bush, I was about 14. Since then, I've been very lucky. I've seen lots and lots of leopards. Hi, Caitlin. Caitlin would like to know, is their fur very soft? Well, their underbelly fur is quite soft, but their fur has to be a little bit coarse and a little bit rough, because it's part of their protection. And you must remember, a leopard has to walk through thorns and sticks and lots of things. So that underbelly there, that fur is quite soft, but the rest of the fur is quite rough. You can see he's breathing very heavily because he's got a full belly. Remember, if you eat a lot and don't you feel hot after you have a big meal, that's exactly what he's feeling at the moment. Well, let's go see what his sister's doing. We're just going to have a quick look and see what his sister's up. She was sleeping behind us, and she's still sleeping, but it's been wonderful having you guys with us. I wish I could have gone and watched safaris instead of doing all my schoolwork, but hopefully we'll see you again on the live safari, and bye for now. Let's have one last look at that little female leopard. Okay, welcome back everyone. And that was the first time a school from Surrey has been with us. We're still sitting with Karula and the cubs. The cubs are snoozing, but it looks like Karula's made her way back towards the carcass to start feeding, so let's head that way. It's incredible that little Xongile is already sort of showing a little bit more independence than Hosana, even where she decides to lie and stuff like that. Oh. Standing by. FM and leaving, so make you up. There we go. we go. Here we go, so Karula has moved onto the carcass. Oh, look. Where are you off to? Oh, he's gone down to lie in the sand where we were just parked. Lying down in the cool sand. Oh, Karula's just removed the stomach from the carcass. She might be preparing to hoist it. Hi, Alison. Alison's wondering, how long do leopard cubs stay with their mum? Well, it's all dependent. Male cubs stay generally quite a lot longer with their mum. They sometimes even up to 2.5 years. Females are normally independent by about 18 months, but the youngest record of a leopard cub being completely independent of its mother was 9 months old. That is unusual. So normally females 15 to 18 months they'll become independent. Males 2 to 3 years. Sorry about that. We seem to be having a few gremlins this evening. Hopefully.
Okie dokie, well, let's see what we've got over here. Our herd of elephants that gave us an amazing sighting there. I thought the one female was going to reach out and pat Liam on the head ever so gently. Nothing aggressive about what she was doing. It was just kind of looming to say, just behave yourself. Oh, by the way, my phone is on. I know it's on. It's deliberately on. We're awaiting a call from Peter Braat. Let's go see what those impala are up to while we wait. We do apologize for all of the chaos as things happen. But these impala are having a rip-roaring argument down here. Let's go see if we can catch the tail end of it. What do we do if Peter Braat calls, Liam? I guess we'd answer. Put him on speaker. Yeah, there we go. We can all talk to Peter Braat. Myself, Liam, and all of you watching at home. There are monkeys. Yay. Oh, well. Good thing we haven't needed to go further than the Voyatella Dam, then. There we go. Okay, Peter Braat's going to wait for us to be off air. In that case, I'll put my phone back on silent, shall I? There we go. Oh, one of my favourite animals to see, and we hardly ever get to see them. The male at the back that just walked past, giving us a really nice idea of where they get their name, Blauwapie, in Afrikaans, which means blue monkey. What was that? Sorry. Hold on one moment. Last station, sorry. What animal was that? Copy that, thank you. I got excited. I thought the lions were on Hyena Road.
What was the last position of Nkala for the previous bird?
Oh, look at them go! Bouncing up the marula tree.
Nkala? Asking where the last...
Oh dear. Hold on, Andrew. Let me talk. Little monkey scrambling into the marula tree.
You know, myself, I like seeing them. Being with the Jigga Road there. And yeah, from there they were not found.
Negative, they were found. They were found yesterday afternoon on Gari Cut Line on the eastern side of the Shkova.
You copy that then. Copy that, Rex.
Here we go. Look at them peeking out at us, that constant sense of curiosity. One of my favourite primates. I'm actually not a massive massive primate fan. It's not that I don't like them, it's just that I happen to like other animals more. I relate to other animals more than I relate to primates. And I don't know what it is exactly. It doesn't mean that I don't appreciate monkeys. They're wonderful to see. And I'm not quite sure what it is. There's just something in my makeup. I love all animals, and I enjoy seeing all animals. But I don't know what it is about primates. I think it might actually stem from childhood trauma. Perhaps that's a little bit melodramatic. But I did get chased by monkeys and attacked by monkeys and baboons when I was a child at various points in my life, which is quite terrifying when you're small. I remember being surrounded by a troop of monkeys once and screaming on top of my lungs, but I was little. I mean, I was only about 5 or 6 years old, and they were all plucking at my clothes, and they were very, very habituated. And those of you that have ever visited South Africa and visited places where the primates are a lot more habituated, or perhaps you've been to those places in India, or maybe around any parts of Asia where the monkeys get fed by the tourists, you'll know how intimidating a habituated monkey can be. I mean, there are baboons in Cape Town that are like gangsters. They rob cars. And I've had a monkey jump through my window onto my lap, take the sandwich out of my hand in the car, and then jump back out again. So, I mean, it happens. They are interesting creatures. But they're truly intelligent and fascinating to watch. Our impala, of course, have stopped all of their dramatics, so let's go and loop around here. I'm hesitant to go too far away from either the Voyatella Dam or quarantine, in case we lose signal. I'm trying to stick around here and just make sure that we keep in areas where there's plenty to see here, so it's absolutely not a problem. It's all happening at the Djuma Dam. Right, let's see if these impala give us another show or if they're done for the day. And we've got the silhouette of the monkey if they're not up to too much. There we go. It seems like the drama's calmed down a little bit. The males no longer chasing each other around. Everybody looks far more settled. Except for the fact that they're all looking up at whoever happens to be in the lodge. I'm assuming what they're looking at. That's what they're looking at. Somebody walking along the deck, perhaps. Oh, it was nearly a scuffle. And they changed their minds. Now, for those of you who are new to these live safari experiences, perhaps this is your first drive, excitingly enough, in the not-too-distant future, the females of these antelope are going to start to give birth. And that will be around the end of November, December, depending upon the season. Oh, look, here we've got an impala and a monkey together. Just a little bit. Where is it now? Oh, I see one running at the back. I can't work out. Oh, there it is, a little bit to the left. There we go. Or it was there. Oh, now it's going to the right. There we go. Very common to see impala and primates together. The monkeys often pick up the scraps, particularly when the jackalberries are in fruit. The monkeys will climb up to the top, feed off the jackalberries, and the impala, in turn, will collect whatever the monkeys drop. And of course, it's the constant advantage of numbers. Lots of ears and eyes to keep an eye on what is going on around them. Standing by.
Do you mind if I hit the cheetah plains in and you can come to Karula once you're up and running?
No problem. Okie dokie. I'm going to go and sort out some issues that we're having with Jigger. In the meantime, let's head across to Brent. I'm sure he'll fill you in on the plans that he's just told me about.
Look at this. He's playing with the little stick. He's flinging it about. He's going to pick it up again. What are you up to, you little monster? Look at that. Oh, isn't that wonderful? It's an elephant yo-yo. This looks like a little bit of grass or the root of some plant. Definitely look more interested in playing with it than eating it. So we do apologize for the tech issues this afternoon. And the gremlins came out of nowhere, took us by surprise. Now, all's quiet on the Karula front. They're all snoozing. No one's feeding. We just heard these elephants just upstream from where we were with Karula. So we decided to come have a look. And Gorgon's wondering, how do elephants communicate with each other? Well, they communicate in low rumbles. Some of them, the frequency is so low that we can't even hear them. Now, look at this little one. What are you up to? He's just playing. Still too young to really be dependent on his trunk for his meals. He'll still be dependent on mother's milk. Now, a lot of those rumbles, they sound sort of almost like purrs. They could also communicate in screams. Look at this, he's having the best time. Now, little elephants are often very playful because, of course, they're getting almost all their sustenance from mom. He's having the best time. Oh, 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 up the bank. Let's just move forward a little. It looks like mom there. Hi guys. Well, we're used to elephants looking down at us, but now even more so than normal. James Dungan is wondering, has the short trunk female elephant herd been seen recently? And not by me, James. I'm not sure if Jamie's seen them, but I haven't seen them in about a week and a half or so. Now that short trunk female herd quite often will join up with other herds as they move through the area. There's quite a few eddies in this area at the moment. Good big girl. Little one about to have a drink. There you can see, that's why he's having such a good time playing about. Oh, she's going to come right down next to us. Look at this. Amazing. And oh, little ellies are so much fun. Oh, he's coming to see you, Eggs. He's checking you out. Literally right behind us. Hey, little fella. Thirsty. Oh, here comes fun. Watch the little one as he tries to climb the bank. Oh, he did it a bit better that time. Not as steep as the last one. She's now reaching for the lower branches of a knobthorn. Definitely one of the preferred food species for elephants in our area. The Acacia nigrescens. Look, he stopped to play with one of the branches Mom pulled down. Off he goes, following Mom. Oh, coming in behind us, Eggs. The next two. Penny Pine's wondering if I think elephants can distinguish between my voice and Jamie's voice, the different tones. I'm not sure. I think they definitely, to a degree, can. But whether they know Jamie or I personally from our voices, I probably don't think so. Well, off they disappear. We're going to keep moving. Oh, what a lovely little elephant interlude. Okay, so it looks like Jamie might have had her gremlins fixed. I'm just going to have a quick chat to her on the radio so we can plan where we're going to go. Jamie. Jamie, if you still want to head to CP, you're more than welcome. I'm still in the Mawati. Okay, copy, thanks, and I might take a gander at CP. Okay, so I think I might try head down to Cheetah Plains. It's a beautiful afternoon, and I wouldn't mind a little visit with my boy Quarantine. I feel like I haven't seen him in a while. And you never know what else might be down there as well. Bill's wondering tuskers around. We do get nice tusker. We actually saw a very big tusker earlier this year. Outside lip probably was me, and that's about. Oh, there you go. Is that a big horn?
Oh, dearie me, it seems as though we've lost Brent once again. But that's okay, we're back up and running now, in theory. Let's go and see what we can find. I'm a bit worried about testing the boundaries of Jigger's signal at the moment, so let's see if we can catch up with those elephants for now. And then we'll push slowly but surely, depending on how signal's going with Brent. Okay, back on the road again. Back past Yuri's house. Let's try this one again. Oh, good. Our ellies are not too far away. There's such a lovely herd. There have been a couple of them on Djuma at the moment. Elephant herds I've never seen before. Brent and I were actually talking about it before we started our sunset safari. There are a couple of elephant herds we've never encountered before, and they're not 100% comfortable with people. They've obviously come in, I'm not sure whether they've come in from the Manyaleti or from the Kruger National Park. Either way, they're relatively unfamiliar with vehicles, and they're cross. A lot of them are quite, not aggressive, but they are much less peaceful than our standard eddies that we encounter. So it's nice to encounter this particular herd that don't seem to have a problem with us at all. I mean, that female came right up to Liam, but with no malicious, nothing horrible about her, just having a look, letting us know that we must sit still while her baby gets past. Oh, and speaking of babies, duck down because they seem to be quite skittish. Tuk, 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 tuk. Little warthogs dashing across quarantine, tails in the air like antenna. There you can see the rest of the elephant herd. And one of the funniest things to watch is when elephants chase warthogs. It's hilarious. The elephants running after these tiny little things, the warthogs with no idea what they've done wrong. Perhaps we'll just have a nice, peaceful, elephant-themed sunset safari. Hello again. So many elephants on Djuma at the moment. Masses and masses of them. We had a stunning scene this morning for those of you who missed the sunrise safari. We had such a beautiful moment with two little ellie calves that had settled down for their morning nap, and they lay down on the side, much younger than this. I think this is actually oh, so cross. Why are you chasing birds around? Were they really bugging you? I lost track of my thought there. I was so busy watching the elephant chase the birds. You silly things. Oh, they're wattled starlings. Elephants chasing wattled starlings. Seeing lots of them around at the moment as well. All clustering bravely around the elephant's feet. Uh-oh! Elephant coming. Incoming. Catching all of the insects that, much like the drongos, that the elephants have stirred up. But yes, this morning we had babies fast asleep on the ground. But I mean really fast asleep. All curled up together. It was too terribly sweet. Oh, yes. Yes, show those wattled starlings who's boss. I'm sure they're terrified. It's always interesting. Elephants have a particular dislike of predators, especially wild dogs, and little things at their feet. They really don't appreciate, I think it's the blind spot, so they can hear things shuffling around, but they can't really see them. Oh, two little boys having a box over something. What was that all about, you two? both missing tusks, so this is much more of a head-butting contest than anything else. Resolved once again. Oh, one amazing... Oh no, hold on, we're back at it. Pushing and shoving each other like naughty children. Whilst the mom watches their behavior indulgently. Oh, one on the left is winning. Despite being ever so slightly smaller. Such fun. Now, one of the amazing things that we get to see is a great deal of detail with the cameras that we have, possibly more detail than you would see if you were out here looking at the animals yourself. And while we watch the bottom of the feet walk away, Laurie wants to know how sensitive the bottom of an elephant's feet are. Can they feel vibrations in the ground? Yes, they definitely can feel vibrations in the ground. In fact, it is one of the theories put forward that that's how they communicate over enormous distances. Oh, these two are being so much fun at the back. Actually, let's reposition a little so we can see them while we do this. So, Laura, they can pick up vibrations through the soles of their feet. That's how they communicate, making those deep rumbles lower than we can hear them. These little babies are dashing everywhere. Which way are they going to pop out? Here's going to be our best view. Let's stop here so that we don't get into the middle of anybody's space. You two. One youngster being positively bullied by the other. Elephants have extraordinary senses, and I personally feel that we are only just touching the surface of the way that they communicate with each other. Much like we're learning more and more every day about the way that whales communicate. We're pushing and shoving each other. One on the left's got the technique down, the momentum and the dropped head, whereas the one on the right seems to have a wrong approach. Oh, look at the scraping its feet. Watch out, there's a stick there. Building up momentum, whipping itself into a fury. Thump. Oh, looks like Mom might have decided to step in to separate. Nope, she's just wandering past. And I think, for now, the winner is the little elephant on the left. Neither of them have grown tusks yet. Kelly, you say elephant head-butting is simply adorable? Absolutely. It's too sweet for words. And they're making life difficult in that they keep going behind the tents. Oh my goodness, dust is flying. This is a serious battle of wills between two little elephants, knocking each other about, and their behavior viewed indulgently by the elder members of the herd. But as I said, I think we're only starting to scratch the surface of learning about these incredible creatures and their interactions. I mean, look at this little one. It came dashing towards us earlier after it realized that Mom had left it behind. Racing off. I know Brent just had a wonderful moment with a baby elephant as well. They are so thoroughly entertaining. And peace descends once again. Battles won and lost. The other thing I love watching when elephant herds meet up is seeing the little ones that clearly know each other. They've clearly got friends in other herds, and the way they go dashing to greet their buddies, possibly related to them. So it might be a herd that shares some level of genetics. Perhaps the herd got too big and it split. Curious One's got a really nice point as I attempt to reposition to try and get a view of these two scuffling little ones, but they're making life difficult. Curious One's got a very good point. We have been rushing around at the moment. We've got so many wonderful lion sightings and incredible moments spent with the animals. But at the same time, you're absolutely right. Sitting and spending time on quarantine clearings is always special. I've done entire 3-hour drives before sitting on quarantine, whether it's been with a wildebeest herd, with pregnant females, or just enjoying the company of elephants. It is a lovely place to go, and you're right, the animals do pass by. Every animal comes through quarantine at one point or another. We've had a sighting of absolutely everything here. And you, madam? Did you have a tantrum because you got stuck in the thorn tree? She just gave such a head shake at the buffalo thorn. She wasn't terribly impressed. But Curious One is right. From our lion cubs dashing across quarantine clearings, when they were still so incredibly tiny, dwarf mongoose, the odd leopard sighting every now and again. Quarantine is the place to be. Come on, girl. Off you go. I don't want to separate you from the rest of the group, but I do want to reposition. Oh, okay, you're going off that way. Okie dokie. Right, let's go see what the youngsters of this herd are up to. Stop here and have a look. These two are still shaking their heads at each other. Now don't go and take it out on the little one now. Oh, that's not very nice. You're much bigger than it is. Dynamics of children. Oh, we have a third player entering the midst. Trunk flapping around all over the show. If things do get a little too rough, somebody's going to start squealing and Mom's going to come dashing in. But for the moment, the tiny little calf really wants to join in the game, but just isn't quite big enough. It's like the little sibling stuck on the outskirts whilst its older siblings' friends have come over to play. Wants to join in the game, but doesn't quite know how. Can't quite manage it. Come on, you lot. Come play out in the open, so you don't keep tripping over sticks and so that we can see you. Well, there's lots of dust flying around there. Headbutt to the side. And most likely, these are all little bull calves. It tends to be the little males that are a little bit more playful or at least more aggressive with each other than the females. The female calves tend to be slightly more laid back. That being said, all elephant calves play. I've been mock charged by furious little babies of both male and female calves. There's Mom, indulgently, well, presumably Mom of someone. I'm not quite sure which Mom this would be. Biggest female in the herd, the one that came to check out Liam and myself. She's decided she's tired of devouring bush willow trees and is now digging for roots. Slight change to her afternoon tea. Ah, awesome. Clouds of dust billowing across her back. Might be my imagination. She looks pregnant to me, but it's quite hard to tell until they get to really late stage pregnancy. but she does look quite round around the edges. And if she's the mum of one of the older calves, then that would be about the right age. There's usually about a 4-year gap or so between elephant births, usually a little bit more actually, but minimum 4 years. Lovely. This young bull, but too large to play with the other youngsters of the group, setting out already on the outskirts of the herd, keeping himself to himself. I've already seen him being pushed aside by one of the females earlier, and that's his lot in life at this point. He'll still be protected by the herd, but for the most part, he's not quite involved in their sort of innermost circle. And while we watch our young bull trundle off, SP Nelson, we saw the female dust bathing earlier. Perhaps this bull will give us another demonstration. You're saying they throw the dust over themselves to get rid of ticks and parasites. Yes, they do to an extent. That will be one of the reasons. The other is to protect their skin against the harsh rays of the African sun. It forms a natural layer that just helps to reduce the heat of the sun beating down on their broad backs. I also personally think they do it because it feels nice. I think they enjoy the sensation of it. And generally, it's the mud wallowing that will also help mostly with the ticks and the parasites, because they actually coat the ticks and parasites in mud, thick glutinous mud, that the ticks and parasites then actually have to let go because they're drowning. It's essentially, for those of you with pets, perhaps you've had ticks on them and you've tried the method of, rather than pulling the tick off, just putting a glob of petroleum jelly or something similar on the tick itself, so it can't actually breathe and it has to let go to get out. It's a similar approach with the mud, and then of course they can go and they can scratch it off on a rubbing post. I'm going to try and see if we can reposition. A little tricky. Oh, actually, it seems as though Brent is on Cheetah Plains. He's managed to get there. I'm going to try and get back to Karula. Let's see what's happening on Cheetah Plains.
Well, hopefully the gremlins aren't living on Cheetah Plains. That's why I made my way down here. Now, I think I might have a little surprise in store for everyone. Somewhere around here. Just trying to see where the vehicle tracks go. I wonder what I'm looking for on Cheetah Plains. That's a surprise. I can see vehicle tracks here. Hopefully it's leading me in the right direction. Can you see anything yet? Keep your eyes peeled. I've spotted the surprise. Have you spotted the surprise, Thunder? Thunder has spotted the surprise. Oh, it's quite thick in here. We're going to try and get into a good spot. Now let's see who's going to be the first to be able to identify the surprise. Hello, you. Let's see who's going to be the fastest. If you know which leopard this is, hashtag Safari Live on Twitter or questions at wildearth.tv. Who is that? She's very hot. And that's because she's being busy. And a little bit earlier today, just to the left of her, I don't know if you can see it there, just through the bush, she just caught a duiker. One station with one Sati Ingwe off Central Junction, Ingwe Road. There she is. Who's going to be the fastest? Everyone thought it was a cheetah, but I'm so sneaky it wasn't. Standing by. Negative. I thought F called me in. I'm in the position. Well done, Emma and Deborah. It is indeed Thandi, Karula's first born, or from her first litter, Shadow's Esther. But she's looking very, very hot and bothered. We don't have much time here. There are quite a lot of vehicles that are on their way here, so we won't spend too long. But exciting. Hopefully she takes that up into that marula tree above her, and maybe tomorrow Thandi's cubs might be here. There we go, sleeping in the shade after eating a bit of that duiker. Hopefully she does take it up shortly. As I said, it's a perfect tree right next to her, and then hopefully tomorrow morning she brings the little ones to visit. Wouldn't that be spectacular? Chai Connie is wondering how far vertically can an adult leopard leap. They can probably leap a good 4 or 5 meters vertically if they have to. There we go. Oh, I think she's, see how she's looking up the tree. Hopefully she maybe takes that duiker up the tree before we have to leave. Isn't she gorgeous? For me, she's a bit darker than her sister Shadow and Karula, her coloration. And of course she does have those 2 wonderful little babies at the moment. And I really hope that she brings them through tomorrow. Okay, so there's a few people who are making their way in here, so it was a short visit. We will probably check in a little bit later when there are less people around, but I'm going to have to make my way out now. Okay, well, we leave Thandi, and I hope that she goes and fetches the cubs tonight. Let's go back to Jamie to see what she's up to on Juma.
WildEarth.
Oh, interesting times happening. Tax and I are playing a game. I was going to rush off.
Yeah, I'll make my way towards your side there. Thanks.
I was about to rush off towards Bulla, who's at Sydney's dam, but I suddenly realised that we're not going to have any signal there on Jigger. And he is just having a drink before going back to his kill, which is on the other side of the dam wall. So he's killed a water buck. Now, Tax and I seem to be playing a game this afternoon. Let's just stop and have a quick look at the ellies here. He's found the lions, and he's told me to come and track him. He won't tell me where he is. He says come and track him and find him. So he said track me from Voyatella Dam, and he wants to see how good a tracker I am. I can see clearly where he's gone through the entire dam and out the other side.
Yeah, they're coming from the block there. They're quite full. So they just bumped us up.
Oh, look at this. Stunning. And right, I see Rexon. I'm going to cheat. Is that bad? I don't think so. I'm going to follow Rexon there. He's teaching us a survival skill. Cheating is a survival skill. Oh, ain't that the truth, VMP? Beautiful elephant herd. Goodness, we've just got everything all the time. No idea where to start and where to finish. Beautiful herd of elephants coming through. Wonderful. Let's just move back a little bit. Actually, too late. Davina in Illinois. Hello, girlies. You want to know at what age elephants will stop having babies or stop having calves? And the answer is, wow, they got here fast. I was planning on moving back before they all arrived, but that's okay. We'll sit here quietly. Davina, you're probably looking at around 40 odd years they will go through menopause, but it will depend upon each individual. So I'm not 100% sure what the average age would be. Hi guys. Hi big girls. Hello. Hello. Love this feeling. Let me just duck down. You can hear the sounds of them feeding. Sucking the pipes where the water comes out. Hello. Oh, no, little one. This is where mommy's drinking. This is the much desired spot that the elephants have found, right where the fresh water comes out of the pipe. So the female's learnt that she can actually suck the water through the pipe and get the freshest possible water through there. The other elephants pushing and shoving to get in there. She's just nudging them back. Tax, I will be on my way shortly. I'm just with some in Love at Voyatella Dam. Thank you very much. Does this sound amazing? The way she's closing her trunk, forming a seal, and trying to suck the water out through it. Now they have stopped pumping this pan. They've stopped putting water in Gallagher pan for now, and for very good reason. There's enough water for the animals to drink at the moment since the rains, and every time that this pan is pumped, or every time water comes through, it has to come through from somewhere, and that is from underneath the surface of the soil. So they will start pumping again when the water levels get low, but for now there's enough water that they don't need to. But this elephant cow is just not taking no for an answer. She's using it like a straw. It's incredible. Sound effects. You naughty little thing. He just flicked Mom's trunk out of the way. Oh, they're amazing. They truly, truly are. You are so lucky to have moments like this. The problem-solving ability of these animals. What's wrong, little baby? Is your foot itchy now? Or is your trunk itchy? Not quite sure which body part is being scratched there. Mud, glorious mud. Creatures. Hi, big girl. Hello, big girl. Just chatting away to her. Hello, big girl. It's alright. I'm not going to hurt your family, I promise. I promise. It's okay. Now, Jig, you were wondering if female elephants are. I'm not looking back at you for now. I just want to keep an eye on her. Her body language has gone odd. Hi, girl. You were wondering if female elephants are more sensitive than others. And the answer is no, not necessarily. Okay, big girl. It's alright, I'm not going anywhere. Not doing anything. Hands off the steering wheel. Give up. Yes, they are, to a degree. So the females are more protective over their herd. So it's not about necessarily sensitivity. They just have a role that they fill, and that role is to be the protector of their entire family group, which they perform admirably, as this one is clearly doing, chasing impala for no clear reason. It's just in their way. Okay, it's stopped now. That being said, it's difficult to have general rules. The females of any species, like the lionesses with their young, are generally more protective and actually usually more dangerous. The males are slightly more secure in themselves and not too concerned about the presence of other creatures, humans included. But sometimes you get a ball and must, at which point you have to treat them very, very differently, with their sort of testosterone levels through the roof. I'm just listening to the Game Drive channel, sorry. With their testosterone levels through the roof, they behave erratically and unpredictably. Any animal can be unpredictable, though. Karula, we could find her, she might have a bad day. We've seen her have days where she's clearly not happy. We've had elephants that clearly aren't happy for no discernible reason. You never know what's happened in that animal's life just before you've arrived on the scene. Okay. But spoiled for choice. Let's go and see those lions. In the meantime, let's head across, find out how Brent is doing on Cheetah Plains.
Iggy and I just had a herd of impala at full tilt coming past us across the road away from our Cheetah Plains antenna. So we just decided to have a quick look. What possibly could have scared them? Now, I don't want to say it out loud and jinx it, but I am hoping for a spotted cat and not a leopard. This is the area where the impala came running from, and we're right next to the Cheetah Plains mast. here's our mast coming up. That gives us the wonderful signal on cheetah plains. It's so far nothing about. Look at that on my hat. The smallest of small, the tiniest of tiny little inchworms. Oh, he's displaying a defensive posture because I moved him. Now, you want to see, to give you an idea how small that is, let me put my Leatherman behind. he's a very small worm. And look at my finger. He's tiny, tiny, tiny. I mean, that's with super zoom. And you can see how small he is. Come on, little wormy. Find us a cheetah. Oh, I said it out loud. Darn it. Oh, wait, look, now he's dancing. Quickly, he's dancing. Oh, now he stopped. There we go. He's on the move. He's looking to which way to go. So they thread silk. Look at him go. I better find it. Here we go, okay. Let's go. Now, if that cheetah missed, 3 in a row pan's not far from here. Well, if it was a cheetah, or what? Maybe it was wild dogs. Those impala were going like a Boeing, for lack of a better description. Now, James Dungan is wondering, do the wild dogs ever run through cheetah plains? They do. The 3 that we've been seeing quite regularly have been seen here, as well as another pack from the Kruger. I'm not sure who they are, but I think James had a wild dog sighting down here as well. Now, if whatever it was unsuccessful, there's not as many of the natural pans on cheetah plains as there are in Djuma. So there's a good chance that whatever it was, if unsuccessful, might have headed to 3 in a row pan. So we're going to do the same. I'm really hoping there's a cheetah about. Come on, cheetah. I got that lucky feeling in my bones today. I mean, we've already seen Karula, Xongile, Hosana, Thandi. Come on. And I know Jamie's on her way to something. I just got that feeling. Because of all the gremlins, we need to be treated now. So the way those impala were running was not playing where they run fast but then they do that sort of rocking motion. These guys were just literally shooting like a bullet. So I'm just fiddling with a radio thing here. I'm just going to ask Kirsten to speak to me quickly. Kirsty, speak. So, Michael's wondering, is quarantine still at his kill? I'm assuming so. I was going to sort of make my way there until we saw those impala shooting through this area like a rocket. I decided it was definitely worth the investigation, Michael. Bless you, Xander. Okay, so no sign of anything just yet. I'm keeping a lookout for tracks, but if that cheetah was going full steam. Okay, while we keep checking this area, let's go back to Jamie and see what she's been up to while we've been chasing ghosts.
What an extraordinary afternoon it has been. Amazing elephant sightings, and now we're trundling along to the lions. We might have to wait for a little while on standby. I know that there are 3 vehicles in the sighting. I'm sorry we couldn't take you to Mvula, but just know that he's happy, healthy, and has a massive water buck kill behind Sydney's dam wall. Unfortunately, it's our worst signal spot, and Jigger just won't manage it. But all in all, I think we've had an incredible afternoon. 4 different leopards, possibly 5 if Brent gets to quarantine, plus lions and cubs on a kill. I think it's been quite special. Spoiled for choice this afternoon. I was on my way back to Karula. Let's just stop off at the lions for a little bit and then we'll make a decision from there as to which way we go. Unfortunately, Jigger is not kitted out with the infrared, which means that if it does get too dark, we will have to leave any cub sightings since we're not spotlighting them. And I know that in particular Karula's sighting is sensitive in that she hasn't yet hoisted her impala into the tree, or at least she hadn't last time I heard. Right, let me just hop on the Game Drive channel. Oh, whoopsie daisies. Tax, I've got your visual. I'm happy to stand by on Finn's Road or Rebecca's Road for a while.
No, you're welcome to make it West Stretch yet.
Oh, there's a lion there. Okay, copy that, thank you. There are lions right there. Exhausted, well-fed lions. Hello. So this is where you've been hiding today. Completely the opposite side of Djuma to your usual haunt. Hello, Amber. Good morning. I had a suspicion they were sitting on a kill somewhere along the lines. Yes, it is a good afternoon. Well, I meant good morning in that she was lifting her head and looking at me with that dozy early morning expression. I had a suspicion that they had made a kill, and that proved to be correct. And back to sleep once again. I think she's pregnant. Look at those nipples. Definitely more prominent than they might otherwise normally be. Hey girl, are we going to have some new additions to the Nkuhumas? I wonder where she's going to choose to den them. It'll be wonderful. I can't wait. Imagine more cubs bumbling about. Oh, somebody's calling. Okay. All right. Let's leave our sleepy lionesses for now, because Tax is telling me that the cubs are being very cute, all feeding at the carcass. Let's go and have a look at what they've managed to catch. The incredible Nkuhumas do it again. What was that all about? Don't you start that nonsense, Jigger. Oh, wonderful. Let's get ourselves into a nice spot. Right, hold on. Little cub is going to pounce. Oh, okay. False alarm. Let's go to the carcass quickly. You want to shoot into the light? Okie dokie, that we can be arranged. Let's try and find a good spot. I don't know where this buffalo kill is. Behind the termite mound. By the termite mound, okay. Let's try and find a good spot. Liam says we can get some... Oh, hold on. Yes, you do. Liam says it's really nice light to shoot into it. So we're going to try and reposition so that we can do that. Pinned to the ground. So incredibly playful. Actually got lion cubs everywhere. I'm going to just try and get a lay of the land quickly so that we don't startle anybody. There's another lioness on her way, so I don't want to block anyone just yet. Let's just hang 10 for a moment. She's coming to call her cubs. I don't remember Amber Eyes' nipples looking that prominent 2 weeks ago, which does make me think that she's pregnant. This is one of the lactating females, and you can see the difference. They always have suckle marks around their bellies. Oh, but all very, very full of food. Making her way back towards the cubs. Oh. The gaze of a very tolerant mother. Well, just step over the cub. I wonder which mum she is. She's still calling, wanting to make sure she's got all cubs accounted for. Conk. All crying and making their begging sounds. Now, Andy, you wanted to know how much male lions tolerate each other. It depends on the situation. So males of the same coalition that have formed a coalition together, whether they be related or unrelated, both are possibilities, will be exceptionally tolerant of each other, to the point that they have actually very, very tight social bonds comparable to the lionesses. So the Birmingham boys are the best of friends for the most part until it comes time for mating. And you little ones? Struggling to find a good position here. There's just so much happening. Let's just keep going around. Oh. Males with male cubs that they have sired will be tolerant of their offspring to a degree until it is time for the males to disperse, at which point, when they've reached sexual maturity, their fathers are no longer particularly understanding of them. I think it's going to be quite tricky there. We might have to settle for a sideways view. Awesome view of Andrew and his guests on Cheetah Plains. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You can see one of the cubs on the kill. There's a little cub feeding at the back on a carcass. Absolutely beautiful. Definitely worth shifting around a little bit. And then a beautiful shot of the lionesses right next to a Cheetah Plains vehicle. panting away happily. Right, males, talking about tolerance of each other. Sexually mature males that are not part of the same coalition are completely intolerant of each other. So dominant males, if they find another male in their territory, will not hesitate to kill that male, or at the very least cause it serious damage and chase it away, whether it be old or young, a threat or not a threat. All male lions are out to do is propagate their genetics, which means that any presence of any other male lion is a threat. And Gorgon, I think this is a name that I haven't heard before. Speaking of the males, you're wondering, are the males, why aren't they here? Are they out hunting for food this late? And the answer is, perhaps they're out hunting, but only for food for themselves. So male lions do not spend their entire time with the pride. They have a territory that encompasses the territories of a couple of different female prides. So pride is actually just made up of females and their offspring. And then from there, what will happen is the males will associate with the females, perhaps to share kills, and if one of the females is ready to mate. Oh, gorgeous. Too sweet. So the males are probably out patrolling their territory. Yesterday on the sunset safari, one of the males was courting one of the youngest Nkuhuma lioness. So he might be with her somewhere else. I've only counted 4 lionesses. Hello, you. You're looking for company. Somebody to play with. Now, the males of this pride, the dominant males of this pride, the Birmingham boys, are around. They're very tolerant fathers, but they do not hunt for the lionesses. They hunt for themselves. The lionesses do all of the providing for their families. Sometimes they might hunt together, in which case the male usually takes the majority of the kill. Such playful little creatures. Oh, that's just rude, little one. Interrupted. Always playtime. Even when one of the cubs is relieving itself. Little female wandering off there with a little, looks like a little male at the back. Have to see underneath its tail. Oh, got practicing that buffalo hold that will be so important in their future. Can't believe how big they've got. Hard to believe they are the same lions that we saw gambling across quarantine not so long ago. Thoroughly pinned to the ground. Look how huge their feet are. Our dispatch griffin, as the little male and the little female play together. You want to know, speaking of coalition formation, whether or not a coalition will ever accept their own male offspring into the coalition itself. There might be 1 or 2 limited exceptions, but for the most part, no, they do not. And the reason that they do not is because those males are dominant over a pride. Once their male offspring reach sexual maturity, if they were to accept them into the pride itself, or into the coalition itself, they would have the opportunity to mate with their mothers, sisters, and aunts. So it's something that we started to see with Junior. He was expressing an interest in his pride mates, in the female pride mates, whether they were his mother, whether one of them was his mother, or possibly sisters or aunts. So nature has devised a way of reducing the risk of inbreeding. And it does happen. Males do, within leopards, lions, any of the big cats, will reproduce with related either siblings or parents. But nature does try and prevent that from happening, because obviously that's not an ideal way of managing the genetic line of a group of cats. So lion genetics tend to be quite resilient to that sort of thing. It takes quite a few breeding cycles or generations before the negative impacts of inbreeding occur. But no, even a sexually mature male offspring is a threat to established dominant males. And if the Birmingham boys hadn't been in the process of taking over the Matimba male's territory when Junior reached sexual maturity, the Matimba males would probably also have played a role in kicking him out and sending him off on his own. But the instinct seems to be to just disperse away from that area. I'm going to do some shifting around, see if we can have a look at the carcass. In the meantime, let's head across to Brent, find out how Cheetah Plains is treating him.
I'm desperately searching for cheetah. No luck so far. Nothing came out at 3 in a row pan. So I'm making my way down towards the southern open areas. And if we get no luck there, we might have to go see Mr. Q. That sounds like Nkuhuma's caught another buffalo. Hashtag incredible Nkuhumas. I don't know if it's catching on yet. But we'll, Eggsy's going to hashtag it now. And then it'll be viral, won't it, Eggs? There we go, he'll try. Eggs is going to hashtag incredible Nkuhumas. And it's going to go viral. Michael would like to know, is Eggsy ready for World Egg Day on October 14th? Sorry, Michael. No, it's not a cheetah, it's a hyena truck. So, Eggs, I'll let you answer that. He's getting t-shirts made and everything. You realize if you say that, Eggs, you actually have to make a t-shirt now. There we go, he's going to buy a normal white one and draw an egg on it. We'll make sure he does it. And we will only, in camp, we'll only eat eggs for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Eggs will actually be happy. He's the first person I know in our camp who requested breakfast for dinner. I wasn't too chuffed with him. Okay, come on, fingers crossed. Do we have the cheetah magic today? Amanda, our chef, is actually watching and laughing. Now, Amanda is such a great chef, she could probably come up with 3 fantastic egg meals, separate, different egg meals. Now, I've spotted something that... Eggs, can you give me a zoom? Could we be this lucky? Okay, so we're going to go off to the left. We're going to hit the zoom button far into the distance. There we go. Just keep zooming. Is that end? Oh no, it's a stump. Oh, from a distance it really looked like it could, our luck could be in. Now, either I've spotted people stopping for an evening beverage. I think it might be the opposite, the worse than stopping for an evening beverage, which is stopping to change a flat tire. No, it is an evening beverage. We shall not disturb them. As we search for the ever mysterious almost never seen cheetah. But at least my mate Gnorman's around. There he is. Off to the left. Hi, Gnorm. That is Gnorman the Gnu, the resident male wildebeest of the southern plains in Cheetah Plains. Now, last time I saw Gnorman, he was looking very happy. He had a bunch of ladies. And they've obviously think another male's got better grass at the moment, so they've abandoned poor Gnorman. But he does have some buffalo for friends off to the left there. And maybe the buffalo, and to make poor Gnorman feel a little bit inadequate, being so buff and big in comparison. Okay, so no sign of the mysterious cheetah, so let's keep moving back towards Mr. Q. Can't help myself, I always just want to double check one more time. It's a real skill, driving and using binoculars at the same time. No, I'm just playing. Let's go back to Jamie and those wonderful lions.
Wonderful lions indeed. Sorry, I'm just finishing off a conversation. Bear with me one moment. Thanks very much for this, Taxon. Sorry, there we go. All done. What's wrong, girl? Making such a noise. Here we go. She's settled down again. That lioness has been feeding and calling all at the same time, which is quite an odd sight to see. She was feeding off the buffalo and making low contact calls. Are we missing? We can't be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can only see 7 cubs at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that's just because one of them's behind a tree or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. No, all 8 are here. All present and accounted for. 3 cubs tackling the buffalo carcass. One of the smallest and one of the oldest side by side. Very valid point coming through from James Richard, that with the amount of time that we spend with the Nkuhumas, we should probably add them to our credit roll at the end of every show. And James, I couldn't agree with you more. It is, we've basically been with them every single day over the last month, and I, for one, am not complaining. Oh, why are you growling at the... Oh, I see. It's the one underneath growling. Because it's being trodden upon. Oh, look. That. Tackling the buffalo. With serious concentration. I'm not complaining, because when these cubs get bigger, the Nkuhumas are going to start going back to their normal home range, which will mean they're going to Torchwood, Buffelshoek, Manuleti, Simbabili, and we're not going to see them nearly as often. We've got to take advantage of these moments while they last. And what special moments they are. I'm not even sure what the time is. I'm so torn between the different sightings. Luckily, we know both of these sightings, both Karula and the lions, will be here tomorrow. So we will be able to enjoy spending time with them. That was elegant. It was so elegant, I completely forgot which particular viewer asked the question I'm about to answer. It's a tube jar. Tube jar, my apologies. My apologies, I got so distracted by the lion cub acting like a little doof that your name went straight out of my head. Tube jar, no. Lionesses generally do not tolerate the presence of another lioness or another group of lionesses in their territory. They are relatively strictly territorial. The Nkuhumas have been known to, on occasion, encounter the sticks and is usually met with some serious aggression. Look at these two playing in the silver cluster leaf. I know they're very hidden, but the ones ever so slightly on the right, you're not going to be able to see them, Bim. These two, yeah, have found themselves the perfect jungle gym. So tube jar, the fights between lionesses can be quite vicious. Most of the time they avoid each other, especially when they have cubs like this, as both the sticks and the Nkuhumas do. Oh my goodness, this is so precious. Oh goodness, I'm so torn. I was going to go to Karula, but we've got these lion cubs, they're being adorable. Oh well, it's just because we're spoiled, that's why. So tube jar, chances are, if there is a situation where an unknown lioness suddenly comes out of the woodwork and is seen to be tolerated by the rest of the pride, chances are that is because she's actually a lioness that's related to them, or that they're familiar with in some way. Perhaps she left because of incoming males, for example. It does occasionally happen that prides get broken up in that way. I don't know where to look. I can't begin, because now the lion cubs are wandering through. Now the cubs are on the carcass and attacking it like they're trying to make a kill. What's got these lions up like this? All four lionesses are now up and focused. The cubs seem to be oblivious to it. But I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on. Have they spotted potential prey? It's not impossible. The incredible Nkuhumas are definitely almost constantly on the alert for the possibility of food. No, I don't think so, because Amber Eyes is still flat down on the road. I don't think so. I think the lionesses are just looking to reunite with each other. No, there we go. Okay, false alarm everybody. All is fine. And well, the lionesses just reunited. So, Mia, my cat, on the subject of our little cubs tackling their buffalo meal, you were wondering if they've lost their milk teeth because they seem to be struggling with the carcass. And no, they haven't yet. It's between 6 months and a year old that they start to grow their permanent teeth. As you know, it doesn't all happen in one go. Usually the first to come through are the canines and the incisors. And if we are fortunate as we have been, or as fortunate as we have been, we'll actually probably get to see the growth of their permanent teeth. Now, isn't that an incredibly intimate, special thing that we can share with the Nkuhumas, to watch the growth from their baby teeth to their big teeth? I think that's incredibly special. Well, you did pick the silliest spot, little one. That elbow's going to give you some serious hassle. But yes, the cubs do have to work hard to get into the buffalo carcass itself. Even for a fully grown predator, feeding off these carcasses is not easy work. The meat is unbelievably tough, and to settle in to rip it away is why the lions have those amazing carnassial shears. Oh, tantrums happening. This is not working out the way this little cub had planned. So far it hasn't managed to get anything. Very graceful. This little female playing on top of the buffalo. Oh, out of my way, out of my way. I'm moving in there now. This cub is obviously particularly hungry. So far hasn't stopped voraciously feeding. Oh, it's wonderful. We're so incredibly lucky. There's nowhere else in the world, and there's no safari trip in the world that you could go on and spend as much time with these lions as we have, to sit and watch them every day and to watch them grow up, to see them get their adult teeth, to see them go through that gangly stage that they're about to. And speaking of which, Lauren in Illinois, you wanted to know when will we start, or what age will the cubs start to go hunting with the rest of the pride? So they already start showing signs of, oh wow, look how brave you are, right up into the weeping wattle. Careful, somebody's going to fall down. Not quite the tree climbing ability of Hosana and Xongile just yet. Or actually never. So Lauren, at easily a year old, they start showing a sign that they want to go with the pride and often mess up the hunts. At about a year and a half, then they are attempting to participate, but still essentially just messing up the hunts, whether it's because they haven't quite managed the stealth mode just yet, or perhaps just by generally getting in the way. I mean, you can see already they're practicing their technique. This is not just about feeding what they're doing to this buffalo carcass. Some of it is about practicing, learning their ability, the extent of their abilities, the strength of their claws. Again rolling off the buffalo. And then by about 2 years old, they will be active participants. And as they start to get a little bit older than that, then they are actual proper contributors to the whole process. Again, it depends on if they're male or female, although both, of course, will learn to hunt equally efficiently. It's not the case that only the females hunt or only the males hunt. And you? Is that the perfect spot? Or maybe not. Uh-oh. It's all a bit out of control. Now, young females I've noticed with prides, and I've seen it with the youngest female of the Nkuhuma as well, they are often the ones that initiate the hunts. Once they've got to that sort of 2-year-old mark and they're really learning how the whole process works, they seem to want to constantly practice it. Now, the youngest Nkuhuma female, obviously she's now perfected it, but that example that we had with Taylor a couple of mornings ago, where she was trying to hunt a giraffe, is a very good example of still being able to push her boundaries. It's one of the other reasons why young lions are of particular danger to other predators. We saw the young Nkuhuma female later on that same week chase Tingana up a tree. They tend to, all lions are a threat to other predators, but they tend to be more focused on trying to catch them. Uh-oh. I don't want you up that tree. I'm going to pull you out of it. All the cubs showing slightly more grace, but the younger cub attempting to exact revenge for the ignominious descent that it was forced into. Sarah, the stingless bee, watching the bumbling attempts of our lions attempting to climb trees. Want to know why leopards are such great climbers, whereas lions are, well, not. And the answer is, it's in terms of an evolutionary tactic, for leopards it's a survival technique. They need to be able to climb trees. Lions are social cats. They've got the protection of the pride to serve that purpose, whereas lion cubs, leopard cubs get left alone on a very regular basis, and they are very low down at the bottom of the predator hierarchy, whereas lions are right up at the top. So tree climbing is not a hugely necessary skill. That being said, lions can climb trees, believe it or not. Our cubs perhaps not giving us the best demonstration, but in certain areas they are known they are better at it than others, particularly in places where climbing trees will get them out of the way of things like tsetse flies and provide them with much needed shade in more open areas, places like Tanzania and other open areas of Botswana. So they can climb trees, just not as well as leopards can because they don't need to, and they're heavier. Much, much heavier. Admittedly not the lion cubs, but fully grown lions are easily, these lionesses are easily about 3 times Karula's weight, and that's just the females. So they're just not built for it. The evolutionary design has geared them towards power rather than agility. There's very little actual feeding going on here. I don't know if it's because the cubs haven't realized they should climb into the cavity of the buffalo, or if they're just having fun. It seems to be mealtime all around for the big cats of the Sabi Sand. Let's go and have a look at what Quarantine is up to with his kudu.
Well, we've made our way to Mr. Q, who is surrounded by buzzing blowflies. It doesn't seem to bother him much eating this rotting kudu carcass. Now that is a beastly big thing for a leopard to catch. And he is going to be a beastly big leopard, Mr. Quarantine. That's an almost adult male kudu. And I'm going to ask Thandi to turn up the ambient, and I'm going to keep quiet. Just listen to what we're hearing. Now, Xanda's going to show you the trees above us at the moment. It is literally a sea of flies buzzing above us in these little trees and, of course, around the carcass. Now, he's quite lucky now. Hyenas have come this way, because even though he's eaten most of this, or quite a lot of it, there's almost zero chance he's going to be able to hoist this carcass. It's way too big. And you can just see those flies. Now, the reason he's dragged it into such a thick area is to hide it from the vultures. So he's dragged it right into under a fallen weeping wattle and a little guarri thicket to hide the carcass from the prying eyes from above. Wendy says, hasn't Quarantine just grown so much? Indeed he has, Wendy. Indeed he has. For some reason the flies seem to be stirring more now. Now, this is Dispatch Griffin's first time to see Mr. Quarantine. Now, let's just think about today. This is our fifth leopard on one drive, and they have all been Karula descendants, apart from the Queen herself. So we've seen Karula, we've seen Hosana and Xongile, we've seen Thandi, and now we've seen Quarantine. Isn't that incredible that one female leopard's lineage, have spread so far? Hello, big boy. He is getting really big. He's going to be a monster. Tube Jar is wondering, is this the leopard that killed the dog? No, it's not. That was born to a female leopard called Shadow, who's the other leopard female, or the second female leopard we saw today's sister. The leopard who killed the dog is named Sindile. This guy's name is Quarantine, and the one who killed the dog has a collar, a radio and satellite tracking collar on him at the moment. Okay, so if we come out a little bit, apparently a few people are wondering, where's my hand? There, what that is there. That is the stomach that he has removed. Not much in there for him to eat. There's a lot of meat left on this carcass, even though he's sort of only eaten half, I reckon. Maybe a bit more than half. Look at those flies buzzing around. I'd be quite happy that it's getting towards night. There's a lot of those flies will stop buzzing, they'll rest up, give them a little bit of respite, because the animals do get sometimes quite annoyed with those flies while they're feeding. How many flies do you reckon he swallowed? I reckon he swallowed a few today. Definitely fly eggs. Maybe the odd maggot or two. Hi, Dory in South Carolina. Dory's wondering, could the Anderson male leopard be Quarantine's father? There is a possibility, Dory. There's sort of three main contenders for Quarantine's parenthood. Anderson on the outside, but most likely he's either side by Tingana or Mvula. And unless we do genetics, which we should get hopefully one day, to be able to say for sure who his father is. Now, Karula was seen mating with all three of those males. I have seen her mate with all three of those males. Anderson is an outside chance. He wasn't that far east yet. But remember, female leopards move well out of their territory to mate. So it is possible. Oh, I nearly swallowed a fly. I'm going to close my mouth quickly there. Definitely don't want to swallow one of these flies. I know exactly where they've been. Kathy's wondering, is this a big kill for a leopard? It's a massive kill for a leopard. I mean, that kudu probably weighs close on 200 kilos. What's that? 180 kilos. 200 kilos, because maths is not my strong point. So we'd make it about probably about 400 pounds, easily. And that is a massive, massive kill for a leopard. Now, Quarantine seems to like kudu, but this is definitely the biggest kudu I've seen him take. It's a nearly full-grown male kudu. I've seen him take adult female kudu before, or seen him on adult female kudu carcasses, but never one this big. But he is quite a lot bigger than when he used to live on Djuma. He's grown substantially. He's definitely going to put in there's a big chance he's going to put in a shot for the dominant male leopard in this part of the world, probably even as early as next year. I'm just very happy we still get to see him, unlike his brother, Nkuhuma, who was one of my favorites. He's headed further south to the Sand River. Mauricia says it's her lucky day today because Thandi and Quarantine are her favorite leopards. Well, good for you, Mauricia. You're a lucky fish. Now, I'm actually going to leave shortly because this kill's on the ground. We don't want to be here after dark, attracting any unwanted attention. But maybe, Mr. Q, are you going to walk us all the way to 3 in a row pan for a drink? That would be very kind of you. I think this is Xander's first sighting of Quarantine. Where's he going? He's right behind the car. Is he lying down? No, he's moving. Okay, let's do the same. Oh, Xander's caught a fly. Just think where that fly's been. As I said, I'm hoping he might go for a drink. He might just lie down and digest for a while there. It's not too far from 3 in a row pan. Safari Hayes says, I miss Nkuhuma, the baboon killer. Me too. He did have quite a lot of attitude, young Nkuhuma. Okay, we're just going to have one last quick look at Mr. Q. And because it is getting a bit dark and his kill is on the ground. Here he is. I really enjoy this leopard. He's one of my favorites to photograph. Always up to something. And look at those incredible eyes. He moved away from the carcass probably to get away from all those flies. Oh, he's a pretty boy. Absolutely gorgeous. Magical creature. Giving himself a good bath. And I mean, at this age and at his size, he might even have a go at a single hyena that tries to steal his kill. Wouldn't that be something to see? Okay, Mr. Q. Time for us to make our way out of here. leave you to your rotting kudu carcass. Hopefully he'll still be here in the morning and he doesn't lose it to hyenas. He is definitely one of my favorites. Bye! Oh, thorn tree. Now, Richie is asking, when will Mr. Q be ready to mate? Now, that's all dependent. Possibly from as young as 5, maybe even 4. It just depends on the other male leopards in the area and whether the females will have them. Actually, in some cases, females don't like mating with young males. They're worried they're going to move through the area quite quickly and another male will come in, so there's a good chance their cubs might be killed. So it's going to be quite interesting to see when he does set up shop and become a dominant male. He's already shown very dominant displays for a young male leopard. We've had him with Xongile, who's an older male and a little bit bigger now, but I would say they're pretty close in size now. And they've had standoffs actually on this very road. So it's going to be absolutely amazing to see how that little story pans out between Xongile and Quarantine. Of course, from Nkanyeni's point of view, that's quite a risk because she's still got 2 cubs, probably around a year old now, so they're still within that sort of zone where he would kill them. So hopefully for Nkanyen's sake, those cubs get to adulthood and move off before he becomes the dominant in this area. But I think he might become dominant earlier than I've seen other male leopards before. Nearly time for me to get the old spotlight out. Nearly there, it's not quite dark enough yet. Okay, well, I'm going to start slowly making my way back towards Djuma. While I do that, let's go see what Jamie's up to.
We have left our lion cubs for now. It did start to get a little bit too dark, and as I mentioned earlier, we don't have any infrared on this vehicle, which means that we actually unfortunately can't stay with them. I'm just popping in to check whether or not our bush baby is home. Might still be a little bit early. Now, of course, they don't sleep in the same nest site each and every night. Our little bush baby may not be here. I suppose it's too much to hope that we get the timing right each time we visit it. The last time I stopped here, no, not quite. One of the times that I stopped here, we were sitting watching an empty hole just like this, and all of a sudden it was filled with the adorable face of a tiny little bush baby. Oh, the lions are roaring. Very half-hearted roaring. Soft, almost contact call roars. Obviously not wanting to draw attention to themselves with the cubs and a kill. Perhaps even avoiding the attentions of the Birmingham boys, who might decide to come and steal what's left of that buffalo. And so we head off into the evening to see what wonderful and mysterious nocturnal creatures we can find, and we will return at the start of the sunrise safari tomorrow morning to see what the lions have been up to while we were away. I think there's enough meat on that buffalo left that they will probably still be somewhere close. Unless, of course, the incredible Nkuhumas decide to do it once again and go off in search of more prey, more buffalo. Perhaps some herd was wandering through in the evening. You never know, there have been lots and lots of buffalo around recently. And then there's also, of course, the prospect of the Queen being around. And hello to Michael, who is 13 years old. Now Michael would like to know if we get sable in the Sabi sand. And we do, Michael. We absolutely do. They seem to spend more time towards the sort of eastern areas of the Sabi sand, so around in coral, but there's always the possibility of seeing one. Now, I assume, Michael, that you know what a sable is because you've asked about them, but for viewers that aren't familiar with this incredible antelope, it is a massive, dark-colored, almost glossy black antelope with enormous backwards curving horns. Truly, truly stunning to look at. Now, recently, Michael, you know that we have the 24-hour dam camera up at the Voyatella Dam. Well, recently, a sable was seen on the dam camera for the first time in 17 years that a sable had been seen on Djuma. Now, we all raced out that morning very, very excited to go and see what was happening and to see if we can track down the sable. So excited, in fact, that Scott got his sable and his Inyala mixed up because he saw something big and dark, thought it was the sable, and in those days we were still doing what's known as crash cuts, where the director could just cut the one presenter in the middle of the sentence and cuts to the other feed straight away. Anyway, it turned out he called for a crash cut for an Inyala, which was hilarious. And totally understandable. I could easily have made the same mistake. We were all so pent up with excitement at the prospect of a sable. So you never know. Keep watching, Michael. Watch the space. Maybe one day we will see one. Maybe one day we will have the traverse to see one. Perhaps we'll be... Sorry, I'm too warm. There we go. Drive and unzip my jacket at the same time. Though it is a distinct possibility we could see one. There's a couple of antelope that I would love to show to you. Antelope that I've worked at in other reserves, in other parts of South Africa. Things like Gemsbok with their massive upwards pointing horns like spears above their heads. Also known as oryx. They are truly magnificent creatures and massive and powerful. I'd love to show you eland as well. We could get them here. There are eland in the Kruger National Park, but usually much further north. I believe, though, you did get to see them when you were with James in the Mara Triangle. I'd love to show you roan, sable, Gemsbok, hartebeest, bontebok. Oh, there's so many amazing antelope out here that we haven't managed to show you. Bontebok and Blesbok much more towards the central and southeastern parts of the country. But for now we shall have to content ourselves with a search for the mysterious nocturnal creatures of Djuma. Sorry, I'm going to try and turn this down. Lots of chatter happening. Perhaps it is warm enough now for us to see the first chameleon of the season. It's been too cold recently. In fact, I think this might be the coldest October I've ever experienced out here. Not complaining about it because it hasn't been, it's still mild. It's just unusual for this time of year. And it has put a slight delay on our reptile sightings that we've been so eagerly anticipating. Oh. Trying to track a car driving on Gowrie Main. Wondered why the reflection was moving so fast. It's amazing. It takes a lot of getting used to being able to see as far into the bush as we have been able to see recently. Alright, dropping my lights down. Oh, sorry, Wildy. While I sneak past this wildebeest, let's head across to Brent for an update on his journey back to Djuma.
Wow, what an afternoon so far. And it's not over yet. You never know what's around the next corner. That's the joy of being alive out in the African bush. Remember, hashtag Safari Live, questions at wildearth.tv if you'd like to ask any questions. We've seen 5 different leopards, the Nkuhuma pride, buffalo, elephant, few gremlins here and there, but fortunately the animals treated us because we had those gremlins. Now, who knows what we're going to find on the way home? Could there be a civet, a serval, a genet, or a bush baby, or the first chameleon of the year? Dispatch Griffin says it's begun to expect gremlins as a natural animal on the safari. Well, hopefully one day we will have exterminated gremlins from this part of the world. Now, the prospects for tomorrow morning are incredible. We've got the lions, Karula, the cubs, possibly Thandi and cubs, and possibly quarantine again. So I'm very excited to wake up before the sun rises tomorrow morning and get out and search for the incredible wildlife of Africa. Okay, let's have a look down the road. Nothing there. A lot of the predators like to use these roads as highways, and they walk along them quite regularly. So it's the right time of the evening for things to be moving. So you never know. We might even find a hyena strolling down the road. Oh, bugs are definitely back. What a beautiful early summer's evening. Now, as I said, it's been quite cold the year. I wonder when he's going to read. Okay, so as we make our way back to Juma, we've got to go through a deep gully where the signal's a bit iffy. So while we do that, it's been absolutely wonderful having you on the back of the vehicle with us. Eggsy and myself will bid you adieu and see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
And as the evening starts to descend on Juma, I'm already feeling the excitement for the day ahead as we, and I have to admit, heading back to camp to Amanda's cooking. Luckily for us, it's not International Egg Day just yet. What was the date again of International Egg Day? The 14th of October. Oh, if I knew what the date was now, that would probably mean a little bit more. I see, it's Friday. Okay. Not that I dislike eggs, but 3 meals a day sounds like it might be a little bit much on International Egg Day. But yes, heading back to the amazing aromas of Amanda's cooking. I'm positive I can smell them wafting across quarantine already. Aha. But before we do that, I see a bush baby. There you go, Ray. I'm speeding up ever so slightly. You want to know what a bush baby is? Well, Ray, I'm hoping I can show you. Spotted it from way off, because their eyes reflect the light so brightly. Hold on to your seat, Ray. I'm about to try and show you what a bush baby looks like. Oh, I've lost it. And the bush baby He's bouncing about this tree. Can we do it before the end of the sunset safari? Maybe not. Where's it gone now? Oh, there it is. I need a view through the trees. Through the trees. There we go. Oh, it's right at the back there. Here we go. This is for Ray. I'm hoping we can see it. It's quite well hidden. Come on, bush baby. Oh, I saw it move there. There it is at the slight bottom. Oh no! All that excitement. Oh, there it goes down. And gone. It was down at the bottom there. Aha! Sorry, Ray. I tried. Whoops. And I dipped my spotlight. Try one more time from another angle. One last ditched attempt at a bush baby sighting. They are incredibly tricky animals to get on camera. We've managed well recently. Had some fantastic bush baby sightings. Oh, this would definitely have been the more intelligent approach. I'm just scanning quickly to see if I can't work out where it's gone. But I think it's jumped ship, or at least jumped tree. Ah. Oh well. It was a thought. I tried, Ray, I'm sorry. Oh, there. Ah. Again behind the branches. Ray, a bush baby is the smallest of our primates. Got it. There we go. A tiny little nocturnal creature. Yes! And it's out in the open. There you go, Ray. That is a bush baby. A lesser galago. And one of the cutest of the animals out here. Tiny little nocturnal primate. Out at night to feed off tree sap. Oh, and insects. You can see how keen that one was to catch that moth that just flew by. Stopping to have a quick foot lick before depositing drops of urine on its feet and bouncing about to scent mark regular places, pathways along the trees. Yay! We got it. Something attracted its attention there, so it ducked down to go off hunting. Oh, unfortunately, we have run out of time on our sunset safari, although fortunately we got the bush baby. So a big thank you to VM for his fantastic camera work as always, as well, and his tech work at the moment, as well as to Kirsty and to Jerry in Final Control. Most importantly, a very big thank you to all of you joining us across the globe. I do hope you've had a marvelous time, and that you're excited about the possibility of Karula and lions and all sorts of things tomorrow on the Sunrise Safari. But until we see you then, it's time for us to say farewell. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you happen to be. Bye-bye, everybody.